trades aren't coming through for this side of Tempest. Does look like a good amount of utility has been burned. It's just down to another 3-on-3. Scanner is going to look like it is going to be rotated out. Acer this time a little bit more ready, but does decide to Tempest remember what happened last time. The flash swing is going to go through a full wide swing. Acer just can't get a pick here. As this was able to find Robert before getting traded out. Just down to another 2-on-2. Couple of jiggle peeks. Scanner is held in hand. It's going to be planted on the other side of B. Now it's going to be a forced rotate. Can Rich hold off on their own? Maybe a swing wide. It's a pre-fire, but now B side's left wide open, and Virtuous has to make the rush. And that's going to be the hole. The jump peak is just not enough, as that is going to be the 5th round given to Touch Grass.
Scan interrupted.
Tempest are starting to
Round
kind of lose their
started.
steps into this map. The nade on Pan. Still even 4-4. Nade toss 3 on 3 scenario. Being traded out. Goes down to another 2-on-2. It's gonna be the pick. Now just down to a 1-on-1. Scanner is going to be dropped on the side. But Acer able to get that pick because Rich just doesn't check the corners.
We're switching sides.
Now swapping sides, Touch Grass having a 4-round lead. Now, they're going to be pushing heavy onto the B side. And Pan and Acer just get shut down by utility. LMK tries to get aggressive, cut off by Dylan. To at least find one, but gets traded out. Pop-Tart's left alone, gets caught off guard. Dylan able to pick up that last kill. And Tempest able to get their 3rd round.
Ready.
Now, Tempest here to be using that pistol round to get some type of momentum going. Maybe trying to stop this push. Rich trying to go play this little mid hop up, trying to get a little bit of information, but still, a lot of this focus is on the B site. And now they're gonna have a full rotation for Tempest, as Sixor is able to find a pick with that nade. A couple of gunshots gonna be traded out. But no proper trade yet. As now Pan making their way up to the site, and that's going to be the scan up. It's going to be a 2 versus 5 retake. And Robert Tasman's able to find LMK. But this retake is going to be near impossible. Smoke is going to be tossed. Talking as well. Six are able to find that pick. Rich left alone. 1 versus 4. Tries to find the smoke and unable to get 1 kill there. 7 for the side of touch grass. Kind of find some type of momentum for the side of Tempest. They want to come back, especially now that they're on this Rayab side a little bit more cautious. They decide to keep this 2-1-2 split. Smoke toss, a couple of call-outs being made, and I think Tempest, they're just going to bite the bullet. They're just going to make this rotate. Dylan gets scooped by the nade. LMK able to find Virtuous off the alleyway. And now Touchgrass in control of this round. As now they're going to be able to make this rotation. And Robert Tasman, well, going to have to be the first to arrive on the scene. Sixer able to get this scan up and running. Rich going to get spotted off rip. Tasman able to find that pick. Getting picked off by LMK. 2 versus 4. Robert Tasman gets picked apart, and now the pinch is going to go on through. Rich tries to find one, but unable to, as that's going to leave Touchgrass onto map point.
Match point.
Now Tempest, what do you do here? Maybe stick with the bread and butter 2-1-2. Maybe having at least one player try and get a little bit aggressive on this pinch. Maybe try and force some type of pressure. This toss Dylan is going to fall. And again, Tempest, they're just going to keep going for this rotation as Rich gets caught off guard through the smoke. And that's going to be the plan, up and running. Virtuous finds one, but the rest of Tempest will fall as Touchgrass will confirm Miru for map 1. 3 in a 9-3 fashion, showing clear dominance in this series. Having at least 3 players on the Touchgrass side entering double digits in the kills department. Sure, there's going to be some stuff discussed. I think with Tempest losing that map, you know, what do you do there? Like, do you opt to stick with Rayab for that first half, or do you try and go for a map pick, maybe trying to throw side of Touchgrass to make a decision here, as we are going to be going, I believe,
Use this time to
into
warm up.
Kitty, actually. Unless that is going to be the wrong map. But I'm pretty sure the confirm is there just to switch the sides. It does look like we are going to be having a Kitty pick for map 2. Touchgrass having one map confirmed on their side. Actually, no. I think they're going to rediscuss this once again.
Use this time to warm up.
again, they are going to go stick with Kitty. Going to have touch grass starting on the colonist side. Touch grass going to hard execute onto the A side. LMK going to be rushing through mid, but through rush has him orged off. Kind of expect this rush to come in, as this is going to be heavy on the side here. Through LMK running through mid, Saigoff able to find the pick on the Sixer. Now the rest of touch grass extending out. Robert Tasman gets spotted, able to hit one. Gets caught in the middle of the reload by Pan. 2 versus 2. As it starts to die down, Rich able to find his pick onto Pan. Acer left alone. 1 on 2. Is on the side, able to just maybe get this plant off. The scanner was dropped. But with 50 seconds left on the clock there, finding a pick is going to be near impossible. Is going to shoot. Going to reveal position, maybe force these Tempest players to get a little bit aggressive on their side. Flash is going to get tossed, but no swing on through. Scanner will be retrieved by Acer. But 30 seconds left. Scan has to go on through, but Rich is behind. I think a little bit highlighted from Acer, caught off guard, and that's going to be the round given to Tempest.
Round starting.
Rich trying to use that impact nade. Trying to find a little bit of nade intel there. Pan getting the backside of A off coast. And now this plant is going to go on through. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 retake. Now Scan's going to go on through a double swing coming in from Touch Grass. Able to find this pick onto Virtuous. And now Dylan caught off guard. Another double swing off. He's going to push on through. Acer doesn't expect it, but Pan does, and that's going to be the round given to Touch Grass, and we're tied back up in rounds, 1-1. Now this rush for Touch Grass, they're going to just maybe find a couple of momentum here. This mid fight is going to matter a lot. LMK just doesn't check the corner, and just like that, all of Touch Grass just gets wiped off the skate park. Acer into the 1v4. Throwing the counter aggression coming in from Tempest. Paid off well, a big risk. Especially for a map like this, Highway, and Robert Tasm is going to clean it up. That is going to be the round lead given to Tempest. Touch Grass just going to stick back to the bread and butter. Nate is going to be coming in, and this mid fight could be caught off early as Rich does find his first pick, and now all Tempest have to do is just force the closure, force this pick, and Robert Tab was able to find his pick on a sister. Off with Take a peek there, able to find more, and just like that, Tempest are closing.
Get ready.
Actually extending this lead just a little bit more. They just need to go with this momentum before they swap the sides here. And a 1-2-2 scanner going towards the side of B. This time, Touchdown is a little bit more conservative. Forcing Rich to kind of get counter-aggressive. They're going to check this right. A double swing onto mid. And Rich is just going to fall. Not sure if they expect this. Dylan will fall as well. And now this rotation coming in from Tempest is going to go on through. Virtuous just gets picked off from that nade. Off the CT wall side. And Goff is just left alone. 1 versus 4. Free plant for the side of Touch Grass. Acer does get ripped off the head though, but 1v3 is a tall order to ask. Just a minute left.
Scan started.
Goff just trying to find a couple of pieces of utility. Nade has one, but doesn't find any type of damage. Maybe trying to find a couple of these corners, a couple of these clears, a free fire, but it's just not enough from the crossfire of Touch Grass.
Round starting. Get ready.
As they are up to 2. Two, 3 split off the side, and just what do you do here as Tempest? Because you don't want to make this a 4-4 lead heading into the second half. It's gonna be on a level playing field, and this map is just notorious for being ray-upsided. As Rich will have to fend off, have to leave this amount of space onto mid alone, as it's just a good amount of pressure. For a good amount of these clears. Goff able to clear out some of the sites here onto A, as now Touch Grass have extended a good amount onto the B side. They're just waiting for this execute to go on through. One pick is all it takes, and that's going to be picked there. And this is going to give the cue of Touch Grass to just say, we're going to be pushing on through. We're just going to take as much as we want. Sixer's going to find Ridge, and there's just a nice kill from LMK. Ridge was finding 2 before going down. 2-1-2, down to 1. As Goff is down onto the mid side. Platin is going to go on through. LMK hiding behind the barrier on the side. Gets picked off. 1 versus 1. Unable to get the transfer there. That's going to be a 3-3 tie to lead.
Round starting.
Now this could be anyone's game. Again, classic 2-3 split. From the Touch Grass side. Sixer does get caught off guard by that nade, but eventually will get traded out by Rich. But now Tempest have to worry about this alley side. Maybe a little bit of pre-fire. And does fall in the spray onto the Arch's side. Popstar is able to find Virtuous. Robert has to go for the clear, but doesn't expect Acer on the corner side. And Dylan just hanging around, waiting for this push on through, but Goff is just camping right there, expecting this. They don't expect it. The one-hand just go through, but Acer able to get the support. And now the call is going to be there at Touch Grass will be rotating to the A side. A flashbang in hand for Dylan to work with. But a minute left, 45, and you could expect this crossfire coming in from Touch Grass. The scan will be going on through. Flashbang toss. It's a perfect hit. But Pop-Tarts for life from the backside will be able to clean up on Dylan. As Touch Grass will be taking the lead on this map. last round into the first half. They will be crossing off. This time, they're going to try and put all their resources onto the P side. Dylan, down by Skate, by the barricades, able to find one. And a lot of these shades still going on through, favoring the Tempest side. Dylan still swinging, caught off by Acer. 3-on-2, but still, this disadvantage is on the Touchgrass side. So now they have to take a step back and think about what's next. They still have 1:20 left to work. But a good amount of control is given towards the Tempest side. "55 seconds left. Pan with the scanner in hand will be making their way on to A. Just maybe keep them guessing. This mid fight could settle the difference here.
30 seconds remaining.
And now the time's gonna go on through. Panda's fall. That's gonna drop 1 versus 3. Acer's left alone. A jiggle pick from Virtuous. Yvette runs into the pre-fire. And now there's 20 seconds. This is an impossible task to get the scan up and maybe find his pick. 15 seconds left. Get her on through. You're gonna have to find this rush. 10 seconds left. It is near impossible to get this plan. And Goff is gonna find his pick as we're tied up 4-4 heading into the second half.
Sides.
As Virtuous kills himself in the water. And then that's why we make space for everyone. They will have to play this 4v5. Down to a 3v5. That's that nade coming in from Dylan, able to get this pick onto Dylan. Rich tries to find one with a knife kill, but still Touchgrass flawless now. As it's just down to Robert Chasm, who gets headshotted by LMK, and it's a flawless round coming in from Touchgrass. Just 4 rounds away from securing the 2-0. Nade thrown, and this time Tempest a little bit more of an established push. Dylan able to find his pick on a 6er. 4v5 backside. Gonna be spotted. Okay, able to find his pick on the Robert Chasm. But the scanner is going to be focused onto the skate park side. They're just gonna try and buy a little bit of time. Force all of these Touchgrass players to rotate out. Look at this mid fight. LMK left alone towards the alleyway, but still. Touchgrass able to neutralize this and flip it in their favor. 3-on-2, down to a 3-on-1. Dylan left alone, 1 versus 2. LMK looking through the window, hits the jump button, and gets picked apart because of that. Acer left alone, does hear the footsteps, a swing on wide, and Acer will get the pick there. 6-4.
Round starting.
Just 3 more rounds. First side of Touchgrass. They are slowly pulling away. Find at least one back. Couple of these pieces of utility gonna spot Dylan, but gets caught. Nade is going to be thrown still. Side control still given towards the side of Tempest, as that control will be given more and more as Acer's left alone in this 1-4 situation. He tries to make a couple of footsteps, but Roberts has it with the blind fire. That's going to give Tempest their 5th round. And I think Tempest now gonna try and full send it onto the A side. They're gonna send straight up 4 through the main, through museum, maybe trying to find one. Nade goes up a little bit short, but still they lose their mid player. So now they're gonna be forced onto the side alone. They're gonna have to go through this no matter what. Even if they have to go through blind, they have to dry fire a lot of this stuff. Virtuous fights too. Roberts has been able to find a pick on the pad, and they just flip the script like that. 6 were able to find a pick on the Virtuous, but they still need to find good control onto the SMAP side. Backside, still, Acer, as well as Mono, gonna have to find this pick as well. 2 versus 3. 6 are gonna be first gone through the blind fire, but Rich spots the limb, and they know where Acer is, and they're gonna pick it up 6-6, tying this lead here.
Round starting. Get ready.
And they're just going crazy right now. And you just have Tempest just biting, saying, hey, we just had control of A. We just lost in the post plan. We're going to try this on to B. A nade there. Unable to find a couple of chip damage. Smoke cross. Denying the view of grass. They're just going to get aggressive. Robert able to find a pick onto Pan with the nade. A knife is tossed. Dylan finding LMK. Arches still being the focus fire right now. 3 versus 4. Pop-Tart is able to come with that pick as well. Acer and Touch Grass is able to clean this up. Out of this full firefight, Rich left alone 1 versus 3. A minute 15 does have the scare in hand. As Mono gets caught off guard, but Popside's there for the sweep.
Round starting.
Now, so what do you do is Tempest. They're gonna just send maybe a fake. Now Rich is going to be that lone player, but still, it is a very costly role. You need to play as the bait, and now Rich is going to force this 4v4 alone. A smoke is going to go up, but still, the side of Tempest have control of this side. Roberts has a fall. Virtue was able to find a pickup. 2 versus 3. Goff's able to push out the side, able to get the stand up. And now it's just down to another 2-on-2. LMK spotted, but still the AK-12 is just too good. Virtuous 1 versus 2. Left alone. Gonna have to find a couple of these clears on the side, jiggling towards the rock. And finding a couple of these pre-fires. Flashbang out. There's just a minute left. Just how do you find these 2 players alone? Virtuous spots 1, knowing where the last 2 are. But how do you just play the situation? LMK plays the wide angle and gets punished, not being able to find cover. Sight. And now, what do you do here? Virtuous with the 1v2 clutch makes this a 7-7.
Round starting.
And we need a guaranteed 2 more rounds to decide it. Potentially 3 more if we need that final round. It's now Tempest going to focus their resources right now onto this A side for a couple of baiting. Fumble a good amount of these scanners. Smoke on through. LMK opting to go hyper aggressive here. Spots one, gets the headshot out to Dylan. Since they're able to find his pick on the Virtuous. And now the side of Tempest is starting to collapse. 4 versus 3. They're able to find his punish onto LMK. And they're able to neutralize him down to a 3v3. A couple of these sprays on through. Pan able to find a headshot onto Robert Tasm. But the damage fall off forces them to 1. But still, this fight towards mid, and Pan just gets a little bit caught, playing a little bit too aggressive, but Rich able to neutralize this down to a 2 versus 2. And Acer left alone. And now this is gonna let the side of Tempest get this scan. And now Acer on the aggressive side.
Count started.
50% HP. Actually on 25%. Does have the flashbang in hand. No utility on the side of Tempest to work with. Not sure if Acer spotted the cape. But I don't think they're gonna have their back checked. The gun was just made. Flashbang is out. And now this is gonna give Robert Savin the opportunity to swing wide. And that's going to be the 8th round and map point given to the side of Tempest. LMK going with the classic gun that we've used all the way back during the IVRL days, the APC-9 Pro. This community, we always had a little bit of a coin for this, the APC-9 Rat. As LMK is going to go wide, this spot one, it's going to be the one hit with the APC-9 going crazy right now. And LMK is still going to extend on through to Museum. And just a 4v2, and we could be seeing one more round into this map. And Acer able to find 2. We need one more map. As it's going to be an 8-8 decider. And this couldn't be any more close. Tempest sticking to what works. They're gonna try and full send this onto the A side, but they need to expect a good amount of these hyper aggressives they do. They're gonna try and buy a couple of nades. Dylan swings on through. LMK finds one as well. Who tries to get to the jump? Robert Towns able to find his pick. Goff goes down as well. 2 versus 4. Robert has made their way onto the side. They're able to get this plant, but still, a 2 versus 4. It's a bad idea, especially in a retake like this. And now, Robert has to fend for themselves as Rich is going to make their way towards the alley side. And Robert has to fall, and now it is guaranteed a map given towards the side here. Rich is simply just too far, as that's going to be the scan. Rich kills himself and touch grass. Give themselves the win. 2-0 right there. Match score being 18-11. They will have to wait on one more fifth for the side of Tempest, as a couple of players did disconnect. We'll be looking at the scoreboard here with around 90% of the lobby, entering double digits again. Still a really close match, 9-8. Tying for this next map. Still hopping around, wondering maybe if we could opt into 4 more maps. We still have Suna, Cliffside, and Frio to work with. Wonder if we are going to see Frio coming into the season. But that's on a later case. If we do go to Frio, then I think this will be the first time in a competitive format this is used. But obviously, it did receive a good amount of backlash. As you know, it was too easy to spot a couple of crosses. It was just nade heaven. Now, a couple of adjustments have been made, and it's still being debated if it should still be in the map, but for right now in Season 0, I'm pretty sure this is still one of our maps we are using. That is going to be the 5th. We are going into
Use this time to warm
yeah, we
up.
are going to go into Suna. Wondering. That is going to be now we are going to have the Tempest side. Tempest is going to start Colonists. Now they're going to spot a couple of these mid players. Fight off rip. LMK falls on the mid side. This is going to give Tempest the opportunity to push through this catwalk side. And Pop-Tart is able to find his picks on Virtuous. Kind of just buying enough time onto the mid side. And that's going to be a headshot off of rip. Just down to a 3-on-4 situation. And now, Tempest going to extend through the catwalk side and left alone to defend B by themselves. Push on through the spot. It's an ugly fight, but Rich able to get the better. And now it's just down to a 2v5. Mustache trying to make this wraparound. Not sure if they spot this pick on the mid side. Sorry, Cape does get spotted on this long side. Mustache left alone 1 versus 2. And this could be the pistol round. Could decide a lot of things here. Rich playing around the site, but it's just not going to be enough time. A knife thrown, but there's just not enough time to find these picks here. As that is going to be the round given to the side of Tempest. And Mustache wide up a gun, gonna find a knife just for style points.
Complete.
Now touch grass. Maybe gonna have a couple plans of adjustments. Couple of these picks. Right now, as Tempest will be focusing once again on this B side. John's able to find the pick onto LMK. Can still, let alone having to defend by themselves on this site, but the reinforcements are starting to come along. Swing is going to go wide. A couple here. Pan will fall. Much as Miner able to get that refrag, but still a good amount of defense here. As Much as Miner will eventually fall. Panther is caught off guard. It's 6. We're left alone 1 versus 4. This is going to be a hard task to do, as now the post plan is up. 1 versus 4 scenario. Gonna have to play this a little bit cautiously, as Rich going to clean this up again.
Round starting. Get ready.
It does look like that touch grass has kind of overheated a little bit. Okay, we'll find that pick, but Pan decides to just go a little bit hyper aggressive here, and there's no defenders onto the B side. They're just gonna swing wide, and Rich falls as well as Sixer gets some headshot onto Virtuous, and now the Tempest players are left alone onto mid. They're gonna have to force this rotate, and a scanner will be dropped as well. They are just focusing this cross. Much as Miner wrapping all the way towards the colonist spawn. And the side of the touch grass knows where they're coming from. The nade is going to be thrown. Oh, and they heard a couple of hit markers through the smoke as well, but Mush's Miner finds one before getting traded out. The call through the smoke forces LMK's position to be revealed. Scanner is going to go up. They did hear the ladder climb. It's going to be a couple of pre-fire. 55 seconds left to play. And a spray on through Sixer. Getting the headshot there as Touch guys pick up their round.
Round starting.
Being able to tie this, being able to stop Tempest's momentum right now. Now this is going to be a 2-3 split. Have LMK. This mid fight is going to matter so much here, as the smoke is going to call off Goff's line of sight. Much Miner does go down. Eventually revealing that one player is on the side. Pan finds 2! But can they find this third? The gun's down. Pan spots the third player on the Virtuous side and gets a 3-piece as Pop-Tarts does find 1, but they know where this last player is at. It's a 3-on-1. The scanner is dropped. And now Touch Grass, a lot more passive. They have the scanner in hand, and they're just watching this cross. Rich is just now trapped. They're able to make the push. And LMK tries to go for the knife, gets picked apart. But Sixer gonna play a little bit aggressive, trying to play ring around the rosy, trying to chase Rich down. Pan, knowing that the scanner is dropped, will be playing a little bit more passive. Rich will have to clear a good amount of these corners just to even find one.
30 seconds remaining.
A couple more, 30 seconds left on the clock. They spot each other, and it's a 1v1 fight for now. Nade is thrown. The chip isn't enough. The smoke's gonna go up. That's gonna block Pan's line of sight, and now this is gonna give the sign, but Sixer's right there ready. As that's going to give Touch Grass the round they need to tie this up. 3-1-1, as now Tempest decides to focus all resources onto A. Precious Miner able to find this pick on Virtuous. As now it is very clear they're able to just take full control of this map. They have control of every single site now. Scanner has been dropped. And Tempest in a sticky situation. They decide to want to extend this, but it does look like that Tempest do want to rotate out. But Rich is able to find his pick onto LMK, but Precious Miner's there for the trade. 3 versus 2, this makes this fair, but this gunfight onto Long decides everything, and Pan gets the pick, and now Robert has him left to 1 versus 3, and his location's revealed. But Pan will fall, but it's just enough time. There's 30 seconds left. Mono just hanging around, camping aside catwalk. But still, this cross is going to be watched by Precious Miner, who does spot the cross and will make that call out. And Mono will have the gun up, but there's 15 seconds. All they have to do is just buy enough time, and they do, as Touchgrass will be taking this round lead.
Round starting. Get ready.
Just what do you do to extend this lead here? If you are Touchgrass and Tempest, just wondering how much rounds can they get on the offensive side. Rich will be throwing a couple of nades here as fight on catwalk. Pop-Tarts against 2 members of Tempest there, trying to buy at least some amount of time for his team to rotate. Fights there, and now this mid control as Rich is able to find his pick. Robert Chaz is able to seize control here, and now Pan has to hold up alone on the backside. Rich able to find LMK. 3 on 2. Pan still on the backside. If they are being watched, as now Rich is left alone and has to play a little bit more cautious. Nate trying to buy a couple of time, but there's a minute left on the clock. As the headshot is there. And that's going to give 4 rounds to Touchgrass.
Round starting. Get ready.
The MR96, but instead Tempest is all the way onto a site. But do they expect this cross? They're watching everything. They're gonna have to watch a couple of these crosses. LMK Fall trying to focus on 2 things at once. Mono in the back, gonna have to find a couple of these clears. Pan able to find 1 with the sniper in hand, but still 2 versus 4. The pitch is coming on through. Butterflies, they will find his pick on the ridge, but Virtuous is extending this push, and they will confirm this kill right there, 4-3. As this is getting a lot more closer. Trying it again. Maybe Touchgrass now are starting to learn the lesson. Precious Miner still going to push on through. Finds 1, doing find a second at the smoke. He's got reloading, but still able to find his pick. And this could be a flawless round for the side of Touchgrass, and it will. 5-3, heading into the second half.
We're switching sides.
bit more back. And now, this counter aggression coming in from Tempest is just too strong. Pan left alone, 1 versus 5. Able to find the first. Especially trying to play on North American servers as a European player. Going to be a little bit more difficult. Slow walk there. The cave's gonna get spotted, but Goth gained a better gunfight there.
Round starting.
We'll be closing the gap by 1 round. Not sure if they should be expecting another counter aggression, as now Touchgrass will be focusing their resources onto the B side. Jonathan Vivius will be making their way onto long, gonna be playing towards American side. By playing close to the target. Kill the smoke. It's a good amount of shots. A couple of hit markers as well. A couple of sprays down through the smoke. Pan trying to push out through, but runs into 4 players. Up to them beside the smoke on through. But again, Touchgrass just getting wiped right now. Much less minor. 1 versus 4. You find a couple of these picks. Finds the second. But it's just 1v3 possible. Smoke on through. Knife as well. Nade being thrown onto the side, but there's no plan. Yeah, Roberts has to get spotted. And now here comes the call-outs. Here comes the aggression. John will be getting that pick there. It's tied 5-5.
Round starting. Get ready.
For those that don't know how the MLB works, it is a point system series, but it is mathematically impossible to have Tempest catch up to Touchgrass in terms of rounds. Oh, what a nade from Pan! Just gets scooped from their feet. And it's just down to a 4v5. Here comes the rush from Touchgrass. Bridgers finds 1, but now here comes the plant. 4 versus 3. Pop-Tart still fighting alone on the catwalk side. A thermite nade. Try and buy some time. Forces aggression. As Pan able to find his pick on it. 4 versus 2. And just like that, Pan, an absolute 3-peat. Make it 4. Tempest picked away. Pop-Tart still trying to take control of mid here, but Tempest will have a little bit of support. A thermite was thrown, forcing side Tempest to back off mid temporarily. A nade as well on the catwalk side, but still, John loses control of the B side, and now this is gonna get Touchgrass a little bit more aggressive. Pop-Tart does fall on the mid side, and they just fall like that. Touchgrass almost lose all of their players, but Modern will fall as well. We are tied back up 3 players remaining for this side of Tempest there. 6-6.
Scan interrupted. Round starting.
touch grass. Still wanting to force this aggression. Nade is going to be primed, thrown, and here comes the rotate coming in from Tempest. They know that they've been trying this over and over again, but this time they're going to hard commit to the site. And much might have fallen to the nade. Great twist swings on out. Mono able to find the pick though. And a nade is going to be thrown. It's good. 2 versus 4. Sight is going to be pinched. They are able to gain control, but just for a moment. These numbers aren't favored right now, but it will be as Bartes through the smoke. Will find Rich. And now, actually no, will find Goff as Rich will be left alone 1 versus 2. A headshot there. And now Rich has to back off. A slither of health. But still being walked by the cross, and Pan will pick it up around lead Garen to the side of touch grass. 2 more rounds. They clean up 3-0. It is the dreaded 6-7 in rounds. Pushing on through, but gets heavily punished. Virtuous able to even this out. Nade is thrown. What a nade onto John, but they expect a stitch. Now they have to worry about the behind as well. Roberts has been able to find a pick on the Pan, but it's just too much pressure. And now LMK and Must has to are forced to back up. Roberts has to find a pick onto LMK, and now here comes the finish. It's just too much, and we are tied up 7-7.
Round starting. Get ready.
It will find a pick, but 2 members of touch grass just fall, and it's a 3-on-4. Virtuous able to find his pick on the Pop-Tarts. Two, 6 are able to find his pick on a Virtuous. But now this forces Tempest to guess what side they're gonna go to. Now mid control is left alone. They are essentially crossing an island. But now touch grass making their way onto the A side. The smoke is going to go up. That's going to block a good amount of line of sight. This is going to give a lot of space to touch grass. John caught off guard, but they expect this player on juke? I don't think they do. They're going to swing wide. They don't expect it, but still, this is going to let the plan go up. Sixer going to check through. It's a good ping, but still gets caught. 8-7. Tempest will be closing this out shortly.
Scan interrupted.
As the maximum rounds we could have is 2.
Match point.
Will it be 1 more round to decide it, or do we need potentially 2 more? See who takes this 3rd map. A 3-2 split coming in from touch grass. But will Tempest bite this player? Rotate. They will. They're gonna fall for it. And now Goff is just left alone. Do they expect it? They're just gonna be able to buy enough time. And Pop-Tarts, they will find a pick on the Rich, but they realize that the scanner is nowhere to be seen. Trying to force his pick, but now look at this. Number 9, Ken, able to watch the cross on the mid. Black's Miner, he'll find a pick on the Goff, but do they realize that mid is fully cut? They have to fight. They have to check this mid alone. And they're going to commit to this. They check. They're going to push on through, but Black's Miner falls as well. Okay, left alone. 1 versus 2 versus 3. And that's going to be given to Tempest, 9-7. But the points are just not enough, as Touch Grass will secure the series. A match score of 20-25. As that was a pretty rough first map for side of Tempest. They had to shake it off for map 2 and 3. Head to final scores. Was a close match. Was a random spray. Final score being 2-1, 20-25. That will be it from the production side. You know, congrats to Touch Grass for winning this series here in week 1. As we are going to be logging off, I believe, for the day. We'll have a couple of more matches tomorrow as well as Sunday. But that is it. My name is Herdich. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube, where I will frequently post a couple of Veil community casting matches. And I will be on the mic for tomorrow for Crest League. But that is going to be it here from me today. Shout out to Gever, who is running the production as well as observing on the mic. Huge thank you to the players for showing up. And that is it for tonight. Thank you guys for showing up. This is Herdich. We're signing out for now.